let's go ahead. Okay, first, it's really important to remember you're still important to your child. Parents don't lose their importance as their child grows up. Parents play a major role in helping kids make important decisions, such as which college to go to, which career to pursue, etc. You may feel pushed to the side as your child grows up, but it's really important to keep in mind that your child still needs you in their lives. Parents can influence their kids to not use drugs, and with drugs, there's also a couple different lifestyle changes as well. Adolescents often try to imitate celebrities, athletes, and others whose lives they find interesting and who they want to be like. So with this in mind, the New Year's is coming up, so 2022, and a lot of the times, kids are around influences and social media, and they just see everyone trying to change their lives immediately, drastically. And we're just going to go into what kind of influence that is and how we can kind of successfully show them change. When these role models use drugs or make high-risk decisions, it can make a big impression on the kids. Parents need to make a better impression. This session is going to teach you how to do that. So with this, it's really important to remember you don't have to be perfect. Nobody's perfect, and you don't have to be to set a good example towards your children. Be a good role model, not just with your words, but with your actions as well. Share your values with your children and empathize and communicate well with your children. Make sure your children feel safe opening up to you about their lives, and set good examples for dealing with stress, anxiety, or anything else that comes up in their lives. With this comes making thoughtful, independent decisions, listening to what your child is saying about your habits or lifestyle decisions. Talk to your child about successful changes within their mindsets and their lifestyle, and keep in mind all your habits will influence your child as well. So 2022 is coming up, and as the year comes up, many will decide to come up with ways to improve parts of their lives or themselves. How can we help our children have great resolutions for the New Year's? With this in mind, every single January, you see people trying to change their lives, and they have like really big goals, and that's completely great. That's really, that's a good thing. We are looking always to have good goals and good lifestyle changes. But we're just going to go in depth in how to make those decisions regarding lifestyle changes and resolutions, and how we can keep them going without them failing. And whether we're here, we have some New Year's resolutions. Some of them include save money, exercise and get fit, find a better job, help others, travel, stop procrastinating, enjoy life. And with these 7, and we're also going to go into that as well, to be continued. So some examples of New Year's resolutions for children that are a bit more specific and not as vague and easy to keep is maybe I will keep my room clean, I will keep good grades in school, I will eat less snacks, I will have a fruit or veggie with every meal, I will try new foods, I will go to bed at a decent hour, I will exercise for at least half an hour every single day. And when you look at these, you can kind of tell they're a little bit more specific. Some of them may be a bit more vague, like I will eat less snacks, and with that in mind, you can kind of decide which snacks, and maybe they can have a cheat snack every single week. Like I said, it does depend on the child and the parent as well, and what you guys decide together. And to kind of making New Year's resolutions with your kids, there are a lot of prompts online. Over here we have one. It says my New Year's resolutions, and this year I will try to. You can print out something like this, and it shows kind of how they can put specific resolutions as well. So here they have a house, and you can kind of say, oh, I want to go over this chore and this chore and this chore. We're adding on, or we're improving a chore. With books, you can say I will improve my grade in this class and this class, and this is how I'm going to do it. With hearts, that can be the relationship you have between your friends or your parents, since they are children, and maybe you guys can find ways to kind of bond as a family, and maybe they can find ways to kind of be a better friend towards their friends, or maybe they're looking for more friends. That's also an aspect. And finally, the star can be maybe hobbies that they're looking forward to kind of accomplishing during the new year, and you can figure out what your child likes and what their hobbies are as well. So how can we avoid failing our New Year's resolutions? So New Year's resolutions usually do fail, and that's because maybe the resolutions aren't very specific, they're very vague, and they're not very realistic as well. So some steps we can take is a lot of resolutions fail because they're not the right resolutions for you. So resolutions should focus on what you want, not what someone else or society is telling you to change. And like we said, social media influences children a lot. Maybe they're always constantly told you have to have this body, or you have to be this certain amount of fit, or maybe you have to have this amount of grades, or maybe there's a lot of pressure everywhere, especially in the day and age we live right now. So with that, it's just really important to make sure that if you do set a New Year's resolution, it's not based on what others want you to be. It has to be based on what you want and what you think is good for you, and not just what someone else is telling you is good for you or what society is telling you to change. So also make sure your resolution, like we said, specific. We're looking for specific resolutions so that we're able to kind of see a plan in the end with them. Make sure you have a realistic plan for achieving your resolutions as well, and we'll go over that as well. And then we have a little picture over here. My New Year's resolution is to follow through with my New Year's resolutions. And like we said, sometimes maybe we have a lot of drive or motivation towards something, and then it's very vague and it's not specific, and you can quickly lose that motivation or drive. And when we have realistic plans, that doesn't happen. So how can we model successful changes towards our children? With this, and keep this in mind, SMART goals. SMART goals are something you don't have to use just for resolutions. They can be for anything in your life. Maybe you're having an issue deciding between something, you can go ahead and use SMART goals. And with SMART goals, they stand for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And when we say specific, for instance, if let's say we're having a New Year's resolution to lose weight, if you just say I want to lose weight, that's not a specific goal. You have to go ahead and decide what kind of diet or lifestyle change am I going to do to change my weight, and how much weight do I want to lose in the healthiest way possible. And then we also want to make sure that our resolutions are measurable. So with every single goal, there has to be a smaller goal that you're able to achieve. Maybe put a time bound towards it as well. So maybe you say within the first 3 months, I want to lose 5 pounds. Within the first 3 months, I want to start meal prepping. Within the first 3 months, I want to switch out my snacks towards veggies and healthy snacks. And you're able to do that. And these are goals that you can kind of set to achieve the bigger goal. So it's measurable. It has to be achievable. It can't be something that you know you're not able to do. It has to be set within the bounds of what you're able to do. So maybe achievable is a certain amount of weight. Maybe achievable is a certain amount of grades you want to raise for school. So it can't be, let's say you have, you're failing a class and you say, oh, I just want to get an A+ within a month. It's just not possible. It's not super achievable. So you would say, okay, I want to do this, and I want my grade percentage to be this, and it's something that you're able to do. It has to be relevant. So your goals kind of have to correspond with each other. They have to make sense to you and others as well. They can't just be random goals that you just picked up from anywhere. They do have to be, like we said, lifestyle changers. We're not looking to just have a New Year's resolution for a year or half a year. We're looking to kind of change our lives more meaningful and more healthy. Finally, time bound. With this, it just gives you the outlook that you need. So let's say you say, I'm going to set my bigger goal is going to happen within the year, and then my smaller goals can happen within a couple months, right? So it just gives you that outlook that you have. So you kind of have something to look forward to, and you're also able to see it happen within the time you're giving it. Okay, so we have some stats over here. It says 26% made a resolution, and then 12% kept that resolution, and 50% lost motivation. Like I said earlier, you're going to have so much motivation. You're just going to feel like, okay, I want to get this done. I want to get this done. But no matter how much motivation and drive you have, it has to be, like I said, a SMART goal. It has to be something that's achievable, relevant, specific, something that you're able to do, and something that you put a time towards. And when you do use a SMART goal towards any changes you want to make in your life, you're going to see the change happen. So with that in mind, when you're a parent, make sure you're setting positive examples to your children regarding your own New Year's resolutions. With this in mind, a lot of the time we as parents kind of forget we have kids that kind of see what we're doing. So let's say our New Year's resolution isn't the healthiest resolution. So let's say we just say, oh, we're going to have a fade diet, we're going to have a crash diet, and our child is just seeing us continuing on these diets, and we're not maintaining any healthy model towards them. It's not a good impression to have on them. Or let's say we're always telling our kids, I'm going to change this, I'm going to change that, 2022 is my year, and that's completely fine to tell your kids. You 100% should be positive about the upcoming year always. However, if your child constantly sees you kind of make New Year's resolutions and then you don't stick to them, or maybe you're making lifestyle changes to them that seem kind of huge and you're not sticking to them, or you immediately go back to how you were, it's not exactly the best example to set towards your child. So over here it says, don't make resolutions, create habits. We're looking to make lifestyle changes. We're not looking for fast, quick changes that are just immediately going to help. We're looking for something that's going to be long-term for us, healthy for us, always good for us. So let's go over what a good role model does. A good role model is moral, patient, confident, hardworking, respectful. And with these in mind, it's always kind of difficult to maintain all of that, especially with New Year's resolutions. It's kind of difficult to be patient. If you have a bigger resolution and it's time bound and you've done all the steps, maybe sometimes you don't see the results you want to see immediately. And that can feel very hard for us to kind of deal with. It can lower our confidence and it kind of makes us feel like, oh, like it's not working out. But once again, we have to be a good role model towards our children. So that includes patience, having the right morals, being hardworking and respectful. And with all of these, once you show your kids that you have all of these, they're able to kind of lead by your example. And then hopefully others will see it as well. So being a good role model for your child means that you are able to show them healthy behaviors. Children are like sponges when it comes to their early childhood. They're definitely going to look at your behavior and model it. This is why it's so important to make sure you're matching your words to your actions with your children. And when we say healthy behaviors, they always include resolutions or changes we want to make for our lives. We're always looking for healthy, right choices for us and for our children, because they're always going to be looking at what we're doing and they're always going to kind of want to copy it as well. So we just keep that in mind and we always just try to make sure that we're setting a good example. So like we said, sometimes patience is hard, and maybe coping with feeling stressed or angry is hard as well. So we did have a little techniques for you guys, some techniques for you guys towards stress and anger. So 3 techniques for coping with stress and anger. First is reframing your thoughts, thinking about something in a different, positive way. By reframing our thoughts, we can lower our level of stress. So the stressful thought might be, I must get everything done today, and then you can reframe it to, I can do a few tasks well today, what is most important. The stressful thought might be, I can't face going back to school after what happened. And then the reframe thought will be, I can talk to someone and make a plan for what I need. And then I am late, this is awful. And then my safety is more important than being on time. And with this, we can always use it towards our resolutions as well, because sometimes maybe we get so caught up in the idea of who we're supposed to be for others and for society that we kind of have so much negativity that this is just a technique to kind of be able to reframe your thoughts and go back to positivity even when it may be difficult. Another technique is a mental rehearsal. So pick a situation that causes stress. Imagine yourself in that situation being totally relaxed. Mentally practice what you will do and how you will do it positively with all the things that might happen, and practice over and over until you feel more relaxed and confident. Deep breathing is sitting comfortably in a chair or on the ground. Breathe in deeply all the way to your stomach to a slow count of 4. Hold it in for the count 4, and you can repeat this 4 to 5 times. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I do hope this new year is full of resolutions that are healthy lifestyle changes for you guys and not just something that happens that you want to happen immediately. I hope you guys took from the program a little bit about how to model successful change as well. So we do have some resources for you guys. We have the Nurturing Parenting Program on Facebook. The handle is LAHC.mi. We have the Instagram handle is LAHC.mi. And the Twitter handle is LAHC4. And thank you guys so much. I hope you guys have a great new year, and I hope to see you guys soon.